Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. I just check my microphone volume here. Should be good. All right. So let me know if you guys can hear me well. Let me know if you all hear me, if everything is fine with the stream. And let me know how you guys are doing. We didn't stream for a long time. I've been filming for my other upcoming Chesterville course. But now I felt I didn't stream in some time, so I wanted to come here and play some games, interact with you guys, check in how you guys are doing. A bit, as we know, guys, we're more of a international master, Alan Safar Ramoutar here. Yes, I did. It was for the course filming for the peak inside. It's fine for my hair to be all over the place inside the course, but for the peak inside, you got to be fresh, look very serious. I like how some of the world champions would be. I see there's something about, I have the option, I see the chat here. Okay, that's fine. So let me know when you guys are coming in here. Feel free to join in the chat on YouTube here. As usual, we're gonna be playing and talking, my thought process, how we come about certain moves, and of course battling. Hello. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start here. I believe chess.com added finally a new rapid option. I remember we used to always play 10 minutes, where many people would say we need 10 plus 5. And chess.com they recently added that, which I think is good. Or was it something? Yeah, 10 plus 5. Okay. So we like to usually play a longer time controls because you see in the blitz we don't have too much time to talk, explain what's going on, so it'll basically just be me playing, you guys watching. That's interesting for some people, but for learning and interacting is better these slower time controls if we could find any games. Oh, hello everyone, thank you for your greetings. Oh, thank you very much, that's good to hear. So how's everyone's chess training going on? Do we have anyone who's training their chess seriously? Anyone who's preparing for any tournaments or anything like that? Okay, a serious game here. Let's play pawn t4. Okay, playing someone from India. Okay, title player. Let's play knight f3. Petrov defense. I haven't faced that in quite a long time, actually. Not that popular. Let's try knight takes e5. Usually play d6. Then they take on e4. I like this line with bishop d3. It's kind of a rare line that could catch the opponent off guard. Yeah, knight f6 is good. Castles. And then after like bishop e7 or d5, one idea is like c3, bishop c2, d4. The other idea is like rook e1, bishop f1. I get a very symmetrical position where white has like the rook on the e file. That's a bit better coordination. Let's see, bishop g4. Play h3. If he takes, I'm happy about that. I believe I can play d4 here. In some cases, I could play even g4. Because my bishop on f1 is generally well suited to deal with the position. I remember the theory here was actually some c4 at some point. I don't remember 100%. Yeah, but that's why you should know how to play chess. I mean, sometimes you're not going to remember all the theory. Let's play it safe and play this bishop f4. Bishop f4, and perhaps knight d2. I'm trying to fix this at chat. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of my tournament plans in June and July, they got cancelled, but for August, we're going to be playing for sure. Oh, I didn't know they had 10+5. Oh, wow. I thought that was a new option they recently added just for me. Apparently, they had that before. So, knight d2. I'm slowly on c3. Symmetrical. Solid position here. Yeah, just play c3. Okay, so the idea is quite clear. Queen b3. I guess she wants queen b6. I'm inclined towards the move bishop d3 to control the e4 square. Yeah, the position does look a bit dry. How are we going to take it? A b3. A b3 might be interesting, try. But I'm thinking black might be able just to play a5, b4. Let's try a b3. Just create an imbalance in the position of the open a file. And it's not that easy for black. She can move the bishop on f8. Because I have ideas to take on e8, take on a7. Yeah, if anyone's in Europe here, it's getting quite hot. You know, the spring season has passed. So now it's hot. But the question is, do I actually want to take on g6? I might be able to play like bishop f1. It does give the e4 square, which is not the best, but it does keep up some pressure. I think, oh yeah, let's play bishop f1. The bishop also supports b4, b5. I think it's a good, quite solid move. I mean, knight e4 could be played. But okay, we can't stop everything. Yes, I generally, if I could get any move b4, should be happy. Then I won't be b5. Should might be able to play a6 and stop b5 physically. But I still might have some tricks up my sleeve. Maybe some knight b3. Yeah, knight a5 and could be unpleasant for black. Okay, so I guess the idea is rook e8 chance knight e8. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, rook e8. Knight e8 was rook e8. I just take rook a7. That's b4. Now I want to play b5. Okay, this is solid. So bishop d6, knight d6, and there's no b5. So I guess bishop e3. Knight c7 now. It's a bit annoying. It's hard to get in. Let's try knight b3 perhaps. Yeah, b5. We're not gonna gain at the moment. Yeah, b5. c4. Bishop takes b4. Man, knight h4 to take the bishop. I don't think we want the bishop immediately. Let's try knight b3. It's playing like a nice end game. Kind of skirmish. Okay, b6 is very solid. There's no knight c5. Thinking, yeah, this one is very solid for black. How am I going to break through here is a good question. Yeah, I'm thinking if I should even play this knight h4. The knight on c7 works extremely well. I'm thinking if I play bishop d2, then organize c4. But even that doesn't look like anything too much, to be honest. Yeah, knight on b3 now is nothing too special. I guess let's just go back here. I mean, what's the knight doing on b3? And now I have to think through some plan. The position is not easy for both sides to improve. h6, quite a decent move. Yeah, problem is the b4 pawn is hanging. Huh. I think if I should play some g3. Yeah, maybe let's try knight e1, knight d3. The idea is we protect b4. Maybe we'll want some c4, even knight f4. Okay, black now strikes. I think this is good for us. Take here. I think, yeah, we should take this, otherwise might play c4. Probably take with the bishop. Okay. I guess we could have expected that. If bishop f4, knight e6. Alright, I think how to continue the same game here. Bishop f4, knight e6. Knight d3, just bishop takes e3. I want to see how could I put some pressure on a7. I can't leave my knight on e1 just to be too passive like that. The problem is bishop c5, knight c5. Maybe I can play bishop c5, knight c5, b4. Maybe let's try this bishop c5, knight c5, b4. Then I mean he can go to d3. Probably e4. Messed up in a5. Bishop on f1 is important. Knight d4 we could take, and if he takes a pawn, knight c2. Okay, yeah, I mean we have to take this knight. I mean attacking c3. Okay, taking the bishop was a bit unexpected. Now knight d3, I'm thinking about c4. I don't think that's anything special. Knight d3. We have to bring up piece. But am I just falling for knight b5? Yeah, probably I'm gonna try and play knight b5 because my bishop closed at the moment. Yeah, knight b5 would have been unpleasant. Yeah, I'm thinking b5 here looks. I mean, doesn't look strong. B6 is not a threat. Huh. Funny. Funny position here. Rook a5 also. The knight is quite solid there. Maybe like rook a5, king e7, rook c5, and king d6. Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking rook a5, king e7, c4. Or maybe rook e5, king e7, rook c5, king d6, c4. I want to give a chance for maybe d4. Huh. b5 now does not look like anything special. c4 looks like straight enough a bit too much. But then we'll have some pressure on f7, which could make some sort of sense. Yeah, taking too long here. Rook a5, king e7. Let's try c4. My opponent is playing quite solid here. Here, this because Black's king is active, I doubt there's any realistic chance in this position here. If I play rook e1 check, maybe let's just try this to see where the king goes. But yeah, I don't think this is really anything too special. Let's come back here. The threat of bishop d5. And after knight c7, I really don't see. Huh, maybe. Maybe I actually do have a way. Maybe knight e7. c7 I can play like bishop e2 with the idea bishop f3. I didn't think about that. Because the rook can't defend the pawn too well. So if I play like bishop e2 here? Oh, bishop e2. I believe black could play. Yeah, I mean, black probably could play a6. Again, knight on c7 is a big headache. But let's try it, bishop e2. Oh, thank you very much, my friend, Mr. Kashuk Chess Lab. Sorry if I'm a bit late on the comments, but game is a bit tense. We're trying to make something here, but yeah, I mean, it's 6 and what now? Whew. Yeah, probably my king is on g1 and limited material. I mean, rook c1, king d6. Yeah, v5. I mean, okay, v5. Opponent was too solid. Yeah. Need to check. Need to check that game and analyze it. See what chance we had to put some more pressure. Yeah, let's review that game here. It's very, very important. After every game to review your games. That's why the chess.com game review features for. Sometimes you may think you played very good and the opponent played perfect, but might have had some chance to go better at some point here. All right. So the accuracy was quite high from both sides, 96.2 from my side, 96% from the opponent. So generally a high level game. But yeah, unfortunately, Petrov defense is very solid. Very solid. Uh-huh. Yeah, the review's not visible, but the board is. That's okay. How many chess books have I read so far? I love chess books. So I read a lot of chess books. I don't keep count, but I would say probably more than 30 chess books. I don't think I read a crazy amount of chess books. I would say probably 30 or more. It's like a fair number since I started chess. I could that's okay, Lena. That's okay. We will analyze it like this. I'll say what the review has. It's hard to have like the board and also the review, because then you won't see me here. So yeah, I read around probably 30 chess books, if not more. Yeah, I would have like a goal, like in 1 year. It's like a nice goal, 1 month to read one chess book. I mean, that's a solid goal, even if you have like a hobby. Some books take more time than others, but 1 month a book is quite solid if you study like even 10 books a year, but 10 very good quality books. That's a lot. That's very good. How could you get the most from every chess book? Well, I love chess books that give like puzzles or they ask you to think. I don't like chess books that only like just explain something and that's it. From my personal experience, I learned and improved the most from chess books that give you positions to think on. So that way, you like read the explanation and then you get a lot of puzzles to reinforce the skill. So when I also make my own courses on Chessable or chess.com also, I make every courses like we always have like some annotated examples to explain the concept I want to explain and people understand, and then you have like puzzles so you yourself can practice that and practice your skills. So I always believe the best way to get the most from books, first the book has to be good, because there are a lot of awful chess books out there that will just waste your time and money. Unfortunately, it's like that, as probably in every sport or field. I mean, they're always going to be less good material. They always will be more bad material than good. Same like on YouTube. A lot of people, they just play blitz and bullet and they scream and shout and you don't learn anything. We try here not to do that, but to explain well. So yeah, generally, if you want to improve your positional chess, there's some good positional books out there. On my YouTube channel, we have a lot of videos where I give my book recommendations. Well, 1,000 euro, you need a beginner's book, my friend. Was to improve from 1,000, you want to have the correct foundation. From 100 euro, I mean, you need to start off from a beginner's book. There are many out there, I believe. There's one book called like Leonard, can you remind me the book? There was one book that I told you. You said you have the version like 1,000 like exercises for club players, and I showed you that there was a beginner version of that. Maybe you could remind them what that was. See what happened is, so d6, play the Petrov, castles, rook e1. I chose the setup with bishop f1. The whole point is white gets like a slightly better piece placement. The rook on the e-file and so on. And white's ready to play d4 and everything like that. Bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, d4, d5. Yeah, bishop f4, I forgot the theory here. Bobby Fischer teaches chess. I wasn't too impressed by the book, honestly. I mean, it's an okay book, but Bobby Fischer, I don't think he wrote the book. I'm not sure if he himself wrote the book. But perhaps it's a good book. But I generally like to recommend books I personally read or know someone that read it. I would not recommend a book I didn't read. I mean, I don't think that would be a nice thing to do. So here, yeah, I played bishop f4, but actually, yeah, g4 was the move, which is kind of counterintuitive, opening up your king after bishop g6. There's this c4, and it does look a bit risky. However, white is quite active here. For example, knight c6, and knight c3, and bishop f4. And the point is, even though white has this weakened king side, white is quite active with the isolated pawn, and all his pieces are coming out. I think blitz is mainly good for practicing the openings. It's not that good for other things, or maybe seeing quick tactics. So sometimes in blitz, you have limited time to calculate and see tactics, but I don't think blitz generally is something that should be a major part in your routine. It should be like something mainly for fun or opening practice. So in the game, we played bishop f4, c6, knight e2. So my plan was simple. I protect the knight here, guard the e4 square. I wanted the c3, queen b3. Here and here, perhaps knight h4 is a very interesting move. The idea is, okay, queen b3, take a b3, but to go for the bishop, so like g4, bishop g6, we take. I play bishop d3 here, takes, bishop g6. Yeah, apparently could have just taken here. The problem is, what bishop f1 is also good. Both moves are good. But what I was thinking is, if I take here, let's go b5. It's kind of hard for black to unravel, actually. If he goes bishop f8, knight b3. Yeah, but this honestly doesn't look like anything too critical, in my view. Yeah, I tried this bishop f1 to keep more pieces on the board. Again, I could have gone for the bishop. This was good. Yeah, again, I could have gone for the bishop. I honestly thought black is quite solid with his knights here and the bishop. So even if I get the bishop, I didn't see what was the big thing. Yeah, and even here, it's nothing too critical. But yeah, we could have played on more knight b3. Yeah, I mean, b6, it looks weakening, but stops knight c5. Knight e1, I was trying to maneuver some knight d3. c5 wasn't too good. Yeah, here we actually had something. Yeah, I felt it here that we had some advantage. So yeah, we managed to outplay the opponent a bit, but then we messed it up. Alright, we have someone, you have a tournament in 15 days. Well, review your main opening repertoire and make sure you're tactically sharp. Brush up your tactics, play some perhaps rapid game. Knight d3. Huh. Yeah, apparently we shouldn't. We just should have like kicked it back the bishop. And probably rook a5. And that's quite hard for black. His rook is stuck, so that's perhaps a detail kind of missed. Okay, yeah, this was good. Knight d3. Yeah, now this is, yeah, it's not too much. Especially this. It's okay, it was okay game. We had a couple chances to be better. Let's move on to the next. Yeah, we'll be winning an opponent game, but I mean, who's gonna trade off all the pieces? Black would keep the pieces on the board. It's not that difficult. All right. So you can also check out Leonard's YouTube channel. He's on his road to 2,000. So let's support him and see how long it will take for him to get there. I played c4 because the pawn on c3, even though black has the isolated pawn on c3 is a weakness, and there wasn't really any critical way to improve the position. And after c4, the bishop is active. But yeah, already at that point was why I didn't really have anything. So let's see if anyone wants to play us on 10 plus 5. Very good. I hope you guys are improving from the analysis. Got some cherry here. Alright, guys, so if we have anyone new here, I'm International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. I know on this channel here, not only we want to have fun, but we want you guys to improve. So we mainly focused on instructive content from book recommendations, also research, evaluation of what's the best ways to improve. I'll give you the truth as it is. And chess my job here. I don't do anything else to earn money, so I try to do it good. Generally, if people have some job, they should try to do it to the best of their ability. Here we can't find anyone here on 10+5. We might need to go back to our old 10 minutes. Alright, it looks like no one wants to play. That's not too good. Let's play 10 minutes. So is anyone here reading? Are you guys reading any books? Do you all have any books that you are working on reading? Any favorite books? Let's play knight c3. Let's see if we get a chance to play the slower. We're going to play slow and steady. It's from my Sicilian course. g6. d4. I won't say so, my friend. Be careful. For chess professionals, it's very hard. And you guys go and check out Lena's channel. He put out a recent video here. He's opening up. Chess is not that easy to improve, and especially as an adult. But he's taken up the mammoth task on himself, trying to do it. I don't know how many people actually achieved that. I started as an adult and crossed 2,000. I don't think the number is that high. Of course, we're going to support him. Laska's Manual of Chess. Very interesting. Yes, my friend, be careful. I'm doing chess full time. I won't say it's a dream. a lot chess professionals struggling. It depends how you manage yourself. Oh, hello, my friend. Thank you for joining in. You're reading the Soviet Chess Premier. Oh yeah, that's a very good book to start off with. How's it going? Did you reach far in the book, or are you still starting off? I'm trying to remember. You see this line here. Knight is funny on a6. Bishop c3 is one move to trade the strong bishops. I honestly should be able to play b4. Kick around his queen. Yeah, my rook is hanging. But his queen and his development is not too good. Yes, I remember I recommended you that book. I recommend that book a lot to players who starting out and want to improve the game. But tell me, how's the book going? Early days yet? Alright, well, the book will take queen d4. He wants to take on e4. He wants to take on a1. What's before the correct move? Something looks strange here. Yeah, position looks a bit strange. I don't know if I mixed up something. Oh, I blundered something. Something strange here, guys. The e4 is hanging, my rook is hanging. Bishop c3 is just trade the queens or take on e4. Yeah, I believe I'll sacrifice the pawn on e4. Yeah, takes our queen e4 check. And my idea is bishop to e3. Very good that you know how to play. That's always a good start. Knowing how to move the pieces is the first step. So yeah, my question is, so I'm threatening bishop takes a6 and knight c7. So does he have a good reply to that? Yeah, this getting a bit messy. Yeah, so I honestly have a feeling we mixed up the line here. Yeah, we mixed up the line of Z6. Oof. Knight. Wait, knight. Yeah. He wants to take the knight. It's very clear we can't go back. I guess we have to take on A6. This is why sometimes you should know your openings well. Something like this could happen. Oh, hello. Hello, Stefan. Welcome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this opening here it came as a disaster. Yeah, bishop is hanging, bishop d3. He's just gonna take queen g2. Let's try this. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. On this channel, well, I'll be very honest. Say we don't have too much content for people who just started chess, but we have a lot of actually in terms of content. We have like a lot of recommendations for beginners, but we definitely have to have more content specifically for beginners. That's bishop f3. Thank you very much for subscribing, though, my friend. We truly appreciate it, and we always try to constantly put out videos. The king is coming up. Wait, is his queen trapped? I think we trapped his queen, guys. I think we trapped his queen. We got him. The guy was probably laughing at us, saying this guy doesn't know his opening, he doesn't know anything, and trapped his queen. That's why it can't be too overconfident. But we also have to play this well. Play bishop d4. Get rid of his strong bishop. Yes, I'm in Serbia now. Yeah. We got him there. It wasn't the cleanest game. Far from it. But we're gonna take the win there. I mean, the opening went terribly wrong. I don't know what happened there, but we put up resistance, and the opponent, he was too confident and he's laughing at us, and in the end we won. So let's see what I did wrong in this opening. This is great. B4, I mixed it up. Yeah. First they play knight f3 to play b4 and take away the d4 square. Yeah, why did I mix it? Because this opening is very rare. And it's not too good. We have special days. We accept challenges with the subscribers. Today we're just playing normally, trying to improve our elo. B4. But the problem is once we start playing one subscriber and everybody wants to play, that's not exactly too fair. But we do have special days when people can't send in their challenges. Yeah, B4 prompts queen d4, and yeah, that's why I play knight f3 first. Yeah, this line is quite rare from black. Yeah, now that to play like knight e3 is a quite sad move. So I tried bishop e3, e6, took here, he took, and I tried this bishop e2, which chess.com thinks it's a great move. perhaps even a brilliant move. No, unfortunately, I'm not playing in that tournament. Didn't seem like a good tournament, so anything too special. Dukes, Bishop F3. Here and I want to play like Bishop F3 here. We don't have a fixed schedule, my friend. Like usually on this channel, remember I'm a how to say to explain this so like basically I'm a full time like in chess. So I like have a lot of students I coach. I also study on my own. Also make a lot of courses and also make YouTube videos. So we don't have like a fixed streaming schedule, but I try to when I know how my time is looking, then I will put out a few days in advance. We'll have this stream. So we don't know yet when the next stream will be, but yeah, we definitely have to think what day we could play the subscribers. So Bishop F3 and here, very nice move. He didn't see King E2. And now his queen is just trapped. Very nice win here. Alright. So let's keep going forward. So guys, we have a new YouTube video coming out very soon. Can anybody guess what the YouTube video is going to be about? Can anybody have a guess? So our last video was about I believe the 5 chess books that helped me, reach that chess master level and truly master books. I don't like to recommend books I didn't read. So anything I recommend is things I personally use, books I personally read. I remember one time I saw some guy on some channel, he was recommending for beginners a book that is really meant for like 2200 FIDE rated master players. So I was like, some of these people, they don't even read the books they recommend. But for me to recommend something, I have to check it out. I have to read at least half of the book or ideally the whole book to get a full picture. Yeah, to tell you the truth, guys, when I'm streaming here, it's like a kind of break. It's a kind of break as well for me. But as in the life of a chess professional, it could be, very intense. Sometimes you're at the board for a long time and a lot of work. So, sometimes it's always good to take a rest. All right. How advanced are the Hellstein books? I started it, the book on his endgames, when I was around, I think I was around 1400 when I started it. So I don't think that it's too advanced. Yeah, the tournament actually, I ended up, I didn't go there. I mean, the organizer there was a bit strange. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. I'm very glad you like the channel. We basically base it on my own personal experience. At the end of the day, I don't recommend things that I don't have experience with. So I just recommend what I did and what I showed my students and so on. All right, we're playing someone from Greece here. So obviously we're gonna pick up the win here. This guy's playing very fast. That's Bishop G7 and castle. I'm trying to remember how this line goes. Huh. I don't think there's anything special. I think there's castle. I believe we can take EF6 here is quite good. Rook E8 is... I don't think that's the point. Rook E8 wants to play Bishop E2 anyways. So I'm thinking here, do I play Bishop G4? Yeah, I'm thinking how exactly was the line going here? Bishop G4. Oof. Guys, I need to review my line sometimes. Play knight B6. A5 with the idea. A4. Kick his queen. And the rook is rook E8. The move. Rook E8 castles. Huh. I don't remember. Queen. Queen D6 is one idea. Well, Bishop G4. Let's try Queen D6. I don't know. Rook E8. Rook E8. Bishop B5. Rook D8. Why not? I'll take on D5. How's he gonna stop that exactly? Bishop G4, H3. Takes F5. I can play Queen B4 also. Queen B4, he has to play Rook A3 perhaps. Or Queen A2. Knight D5 takes. Bishop F8 is one idea to look at B4. I think this is a decent move. Yeah, I'm not sure Bishop G4. If I want to take on F3, the H3 takes. He protects D5. Like this, maybe I still want Queen B4. And I might have some Bishop C2 ideas or something. Let's see Queen B4. Honestly, very strange she didn't play Queen A2. So I'm thinking, do I take on A4 or D5? If I take on D5, I guess he wants to play B3. Which is quite solid in some sense. Let me take on A4. Knight C7, the guy wants. Let's be fighters, I mean, let's take on A4. We're not going to play some cowardly kind of chess. If I take on D5, you see he can play B3. He can play B3 and we should be better at the bishop here, but the pawn majority he has should still be okay for him. Like this, I mean, knight C7, and I just play rook C8. I read the book My System. I enjoy the book. However, some concepts they are outdated. But generally, like that, it's a good book. You see, they wrote that book without when there were no computers. It's actually generally it's a good book for gathering some ideas. Or just don't take everything literally there because they wrote the book when there were no computers and there are some mistakes you could imagine. But generally, thinking and the concepts they are quite decent. It might be six. Why would I put my knight on b2 to get trapped? Knight c3 makes some. Mm, yeah, let's keep more pieces than it was. Knight c3 gets the pawn, and I should be able to get d5 for free. d6 bishop f8. He wants rook c7. Rook gets active. Definitely not scared of it though. I could even take on d5, give on b7. c3 is weak. So if I take everything on d5, he wants to play knight c7 in the end. It's a little crafty guy. Huh. If I take on c4, he wants bc4. Funny little move. Rook c8, he probably wants knight a7. Just to come back. I'm thinking he plays bishop f8. Bishop h6. Bishop h6, I mean, I plays attacks his rook, but I don't see the huge point. Honestly, with bishop h6, I mean, bishop doesn't have a big future there. Like this. I'm not threatening knight takes d5 yet, but at least I'm looking over d6. I want bishop d7. Yeah, let's read bishop g7 and just to take on b5. Yes, he doesn't know what to do. I mean, play a move like h3. Quite clear the opponent is a bit confused. Bishop d7. It's not going to be easy because if we get opposite color bishops, well, at least my bishop would sit very well on d6, so it stops him from coming on c7. Okay, do I have any way to win some material here? Rook c8 again, knight a7 maybe he has. Oh. Telling you guys, chess honestly is not easy. You need to play a bit faster, perhaps. Take here. What about this? Let's actually take here, take on b5, and then take on d5. I think this is good, actually. I think, yeah, he can defend this pawn. This looks like this was the way. Yeah, king is safe. Let's take this. b3. It's b2. Bishop a3. I believe so, yeah. Okay, he wants knight c4. Yeah, knight c4 is gonna come with some strength. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking how best can I deal with this? Rook, may I rook before? Okay, let's try this. Okay, my time is going low. So I definitely don't want to get flagged. Okay, 2 minutes is not too much time, honestly. I just want to play b5 now, actually. King e4. Um, Ooh, what to play? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I forgot that when he takes on b2, he's going to defend also. The pawn are kind of stupid. Yeah, this was a stupid move. Very stupid. Yes, completely forgot rook b2. He defends on f2. Yeah, it was a dumb move. Yeah, I mean, just knight e3 and my rook. Looks like I'm going to trap my own rook. Yeah, this knight c4 idea was strong. We definitely were winning. Now it's a bit unfortunate that the advantage is definitely not as before. What's going on? Here's my rook. Trap now. G4. Yeah, looks like I trapped my own rook. Oof. F4. Ooh, I don't know. Phew. Yeah. This definitely. Yeah, they simply lost it. Yeah, this one. They were completely winning here. Yeah, 100% sure this was completely winning. What did we? Yeah, Bishop A3. Yeah, Bishop A3 was a really stupid move. It was on knight D2 and knight C4. Yeah, Rook F5 was definitely very stupid. Check. Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, Rook F5, we trapped our own rook. We trapped our own rook here. Yeah, we did outplay him completely in the middle game. Yeah, all this was good. Yeah, this was good here. Huh. Yeah, this was correct. I'm just up two clean pawns here. Yeah, Bishop H3, Bishop H6 simply don't allow his knight to come in. If knight E2 now, just take this. And he can't go into any king and pawn in games come without king. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. All right, so we have a question here. Let me read up some of the questions in the chat. Yeah, someone said he has a knowledge application problem in in games. Well, yeah, generally, you need to play more classical games and longer time control for the knowledge to get past. Yes, but you all had to guess about the winning, about the new video. I asked if you all can guess what the new video is about. I say, we did a video because generally today in the chess community, it's hard to find any free resources to improve. So actually, I did some research what I would use personally if I didn't have any money to spend on chess, and I put together a video showing the five free resources or tools that would that you could use for free that would definitely improve your chess, and I would personally use as well, and exactly what features these resources have or tools. So that's definitely going to be a very interesting video. I'm sure some of the recommendations you wouldn't have heard about before. But yeah, I did a lot of research. I had to check what's out there in the chess world that's actually good. Now, as I said, most sites, they'll ask you to pay something. But they have some sites that there's a subscription, but for free you get an insane amount of material that are helping you. I kind of separated it where I look for some free resources you could practice, like tactics, free resources, even visualization, even your opening. So I was quite happy with how we selected it in the end. We will see. I'm not 100% sure yet. Don't know the specific time when it's finished. We will go. But then we're thinking about the thumbnail to do like me sitting down by the chessboard and holding two tools, like a wrench or two wrenches, and then put a $0 sign in the right. Maybe you guys think that's how I do think about that. Yes, I think that could work out well for a thumbnail. I think here we can play queen g3, but also knight f3. This is slow and steady. Sicilian. Hmm. She's thinking here. Didn't see the line before. Probably is completely new. He's confused. The usual symptoms when someone plays against is slow and steady against Sicilia. I am no hero, my friend. I am no hero easy with that. I'm just here to help your chess. Your chess is a board game, but what I am is someone who definitely wants to give my best to help you guys improve your chess. I'm here for any advice you need along the way, outside of chess. Hmm. I generally hear there's ideas, funnily like knight d5, but knight d5, ed, and knight e7, but there's no d6. Yeah, interesting position to say the least. Knight e4, b4, knight d5, takes, but knight e7. Let's continue bishop b2, bishop d2. Yeah, my last course on Chessable was the skills of the world chess champions. So I covered the first 11. For anybody who doesn't know, there's 22 world chess champions in the history of chess. It doesn't seem like that much, only 22, but yeah, only 22 world chess champions in the history of chess, including FIDE world chess champions. And my first course was on the best skills of the first 11, skills that you could add to your game. For example, Petrosian was defense, Steines was building advantages, Laska was very strong at psychology. And we have the next course is coming out soon. I believe on the 9th of July. Everything is done. It's filmed already. Chessable doesn't need to edit it. I believe on the 9th of July. So you guys might be excited for that. I think I can play b4 here. In the Sicilian, this is a quite surprising idea. But the idea of b4 is quite interesting. If he takes knight b4, I have knight b5. Really, I don't know any other chess YouTube channels that do exactly what they did, honestly. But as I said, for me, how could I show somebody something I didn't do? So I only know if something works if I did it. I mean, does he have d5? Knight g4 is not an insane threat. I think I can play for. I think I made this mistake again. This is not the first time I felt, but I think now he can actually play knight b4. Actually, no. Knight b4, I can play knight b5. Yeah, the thing is when you play like b4, he can't play knight b4 because you can take like knight b5 and take on b4. But here, when you play like a4, if he plays knight b4, knight b5, then your pawn on a4 is going to be hanging in the end. So maybe he could take here, perhaps not. At least a bit scared. Now I'm quite happy with this sound. Perhaps knight b6. Yes, if anybody doesn't know, in August, I'm very excited. I'm going to be playing in the Rodos Palace International Open Chess Tournament. So if you all want to check out very nice place, very nice tournament, I'm very much looking forward to it. So you guys can be sure to check it out. So Mr. Cool Donkey, what are you? Are you a designer, a editor? Is that your profession? Is that something you do? So you generally have to be careful of knight g4. No, it's not something big. What h3 is always like a kind of secure move. Mm. I can't play knight b6 because knight g4 I take knight a8 attacking his queen with tempo. So he moves his rook and then I'll play h3. Really, Stefan? When is the league? I don't know when is the league. They didn't tell me anything about it yet. So I don't know when is it. When's h3? Yeah, we don't fall for knight g4 and then lose our knight on b6. That would not be too pleasant. Castles. Can I take that pawn on a6? You know, we don't like to go pawn grabbing too much. Things he can't really move his bishop on b7. I'm thinking, should I like improve my position with c4? Whew. Chess is not easy. c4. c4, can he play d5? It does not seem like he could, honestly. But maybe, yeah, because b4 will be hanging. Dukes. Yeah, all right, let's calculate. Bishop a6. Bishop a6. Rook a6. I know I don't like how it looks. Knight is a bit stuck there. But it does seem like it could work. Queen b7. Rook a1. I don't see why it should not exactly work. It's a bit risky, well, not risky, but he can attack b4. Let's go for this. Let's take the pawn. Wow, you know, guys, what I forgot? After like bishop b7, okay, 6 queen b7, I can actually just go with my pawn to b5, perhaps. Yeah, maybe that's actually quite good. Yeah, why not get going with the pawn? Wow, that's very cool. Data scientist. Wow. I think that sounds a bit complicated. So what brings you to chess? Are you playing chess for fun or you have some serious ambitions? So guys, remember, it always helps on my YouTube videos to leave a comment. So if you're really enjoying the video, you're feeling inspired, feel like you learned something, leave some comments. It truly helps in the algorithm and these kind of things. Well, we have a friend, he's a data scientist, so he probably knows more about those things than me. If I play b5, he's gonna move his knight, and then he'll attack c2. My knight will be on attack. This position is complicated. If I play knight 8, but why would I even want to put my knight there, honestly? Let's play queen b7. Breathe. Okay. b5. Knight a7 maybe could work. Attacking b5. Anyways, we need to play a bit faster. Knight c4, knight b4. Bishop b4. Yeah, we need to play knight c4. Yeah, we just get our pieces out of danger. We have to be careful of some d5 and some tact. Yeah, probably getting some counterplay here. Huh. d5 is an unpleasant move. Unpleasant move to face. What is this? Knight b4. Ah, rook is on attack. Knight. Okay, queen c4 I got worried about a bit. Queen c4. I have bishop d6. But no, queen c4. Bishop d6. Queen a6. Bishop b8. Bishop b6. Rook on f8 is attacking my bishop, but I have queen f4 defending. Then he probably has knight e4. Was knight e4, queen e4, rook b8. But then I have knight g5, perhaps, in the end. Oh, really? What country are you coming from? What country are you from, my friend? Okay, so I think we have to play this bishop d6. Yeah, things kind of a bit crazy, out of control here. This is why you need longer games. You have time to sit down and nicely think about everything here. Yeah, bishop f8 takes with the king's upper piece. Bishop b6, we have queen f4. Luckily, yeah, we do. Bishop b6, queen f4, we defend bishop. But yeah, this way, upper pawn, but his pieces are again quite active now. Queen b3 takes queen f4. I think this is only move. Okay, position, if we could consolidate it, start up something, we might have attack. Oof. So you need to dethrone someone in your country, you said. What country is that? Who you? All right, he's thinking here. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. He probably thought he would get me that easily. If anybody knows me. Yeah, that's true. We see, like, we calculate. It's not possible to calculate all of this from the end, but the line was pretty forced after bishop takes a6. So generally, I went with my intuition here and sense that it should be fine. Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining in. Intense game here. Okay. Okay. I can't give this pawn on e4. Bishop e5, he just takes queen e4. Bishop d6. Let's try this. Let's try this. Can he still play 94? 94, bishop f8. Does he have some discovery? No, I don't think so. My point is quite simple. If rook d8, bishop e7, okay. Now f7 is a bit fragile, which was my point. Okay. How am I gonna continue? I need to be fast. So bishop e5 here again, queen e4. Bishop e7 again, queen e4. Knight g5, h6. I'm thinking knight d2, honestly. Queen c2. Alright, trying to focus towards his king. Let's try knight f3. Main point is my knight's passive on d2 of knight e5. Let's try this. Oh, this is unpleasant. This is unpleasant. I don't know why he's playing on like this. Okay, well. That was a very close one. That was a very close one. Whew. Oh, very nice. You're from Uganda. Oh, that would be that's a very good goal you have there. I don't see why. I don't see why you should not pursue it. All right, let's see how that game was. Crazy game. Huh. So in the end, we managed to win, but it's a complex game. You rook e1, knight f6. Maybe rook e1 was interesting. d6. I believe I do have this in my course for sure. I sometimes remember all the theories at b4. I had this a4. And simply this knight a2 and c3. This was still solid. Knight b6, h3. Yeah, c4 here was the move. Yeah, bishop a6 was not the move. But I'm from Trinidad and Tobago originally, so I grew up there. So my accent is the Caribbean accent. So bishop a6, thought we had a free pawn. Yeah, we should be more patient, play this c4. Yeah, black could also just play d5 directly. Yeah, black played quite well here. b3, bishop b2 is, it depends on the position, but we have some positions where we play like bishop d2 and rook e1 and a4 on the queen side. There are different ideas in this position. But here specifically, I actually don't think b3 was the idea. We have it in the course. Yeah, bishop b6. Very important. Queen f4 only move to save the bishop. Very good. We saw that in advance. Queen c4. Bishop d6. I tried knight d2. And I come back bishop e5. After knight d7, it was important this knight f3. You know, activate your pieces, takes, queen c7. And just play knight d3. And this endgame here, you didn't want to draw, so we maneuvered well, and we had knight d7 check here, by the way. But never mind, we maneuvered well, and we got him. Yeah, g4. King f4, f3. Oh, this would be very interesting position. Knight g3 mate is coming, and rook e4. That would have been interesting. So Leonard asks if b3, bishop b2 is the order. I mean, definitely here, no. Here, no. Here, no. It depends on the specific position. But usually when black doesn't play d6 too early, it's very rare to go b3. But when he doesn't play like d6, he goes like for early b5. This b3 doesn't make too much sense. So here we take him on with some better development. All right, let's proceed further. All right, let's see what this guy is gonna do here. Guy aborted the game. He got scared. He said this game doesn't count for Chessable League points. I mean, chess.com league points. I actually still don't know what that is. I just play on chess.com. Fun also. All right. Play pawn d4 here. d4. Knight c3. Yeah, I believe f4 is the move here. Queen b6 is very strange. I see the idea is knight f3. Bishop g4. Bishop g4. I lose bishop e2. Takes e5. So the point is, if I take everything, he wants to go knight d7. Okay. If I play bishop e3, takes on v2. I think it's better we maintain the tension with knight e2. Yeah, perhaps even c3. Here when we castle, we're gonna walk into that pin on the diagonal. Position is very tricky here. Perhaps we could have castle directly without c3. Cave castle. So if he castles, I'm thinking, should I play bishop e3, queen b2, rook b1, queen a2, rook b7? Doesn't look like many big compensations. King h1, let's wait. Get out of the pin. We have the center. Bishop here. Even queen c2 next. Should be good. My position doesn't seem easy for him to find a smart move. d5. I believe we have to take. F captures e5. If e d5, there's e4. Not pleasant. D e5. D5 also d4. Yeah, that's Black's idea. He wants to undermine these positions, definitely. Take. Knight g3. Give back the bishop now. At least our knight would come to f5. This looks okay. Yeah, now I could consider giving the one on b2. I need to develop my bishop and to be active. Yeah, the f5 Square generally for white is a very dangerous square for knight to land on. The generally is not too good to play too many games because analyzing games properly takes some time. So you play a couple of games, you analyze them seriously. If you play too many games, I don't think you have process to really analyze and see what went on in all of them. And then you'll miss out a lot of ideas that you should have learned. So I'm thinking knight f5. Knight f5 looks decent. But yeah, I didn't develop all my pieces. Why would I play? I don't see how we could capitalize. Knight f5, maybe he wants to play knight d5. Let's try this. I think it's a very powerful move. We develop our bishop on the next move. We have a lot of strong ideas here. I never read his book, and I never solved thousands of mate in two puzzles. I actually don't think it makes too much sense. But those puzzles is just mainly the process of elimination. You have to just check what works, what doesn't work, and then you'll eventually get a move. So I didn't see any big sense with that. Bishop. Do we not have bishop h6 here? Pawn takes queen g3. I think he has to give up the exchange with g6. Perhaps most certainly, I mean g6. Could I play knight g7? If I play knight g7, king g7, bishop g5, and then he has rook e6 to defend. Queen g3, king h8, queen h4, c5. Okay. Okay, we take the exchange happily. Okay, so the question is, takes to the king. Do I want knight d6? Do I want knight h6? Both of them seem like decent moves, and they don't seem like a reason. I like knight d6. Attack his rook. Knight c7 doesn't make sense. Knight c4 makes some sense. The f-file open is dangerous for him. That is very much seen. Hmm. Okay, I think this rook e1. If we trade off his active rook, I just have to be careful that he doesn't get some knight g4. Then that could be dangerous. But I'll have knight e5, knight on e5. So it's very good. That move has to be awful. Yeah, that move has to be awful. It's kind of. So if I take queen c5, yeah, but more important, I think, why can I not play I'm thinking, why can I not play this? b5, d6, queen d7. Okay, 95. What's the problem here? I see what he's doing. He wants this set a very nice idea for him. Okay, I defend my pawn. Now I want knight g4. Trades good. When you open material. You should try to avoid it. Maybe you'll try knight h5 or something like this. We have the pass pawn. He has it blockaded. Strange. Strange move. Mistake. Here we Capablanca rulers. Come in here. Rook f1. I don't know. I don't know anything about rook f1. Seems quite good. I mean, f7 is a weak point. Yeah, the pass pawn. Does look like we have a lot going in our favor here. Funnily enough, I think I can just give the pass pawn. Yeah, converting these positions are never a simple walk in the park. Hold on, queen f4, bishop. Yeah, I'm not scared of bishop e5. Let's play rook e1. The weakens is king. Bishop b2, let's go d6. Mm-hmm. Okay, try rook d1, so he can't really move his queen. The queen is a bad blockading piece. Oh, that's a quite good try. Yeah, why did I just blunder my pawn? Yeah, bishop's very annoying. Hmm. Oof, what are we gonna do here? Hmm. Yeah, something went seriously wrong here. Something definitely went seriously wrong here. Yeah, they're even messing up a lot of positions. Yeah, I just blundered this one. It seemed like that guy just pulled out stockfish or something. Completely lost and then somehow winning down exchange. Q1. What was the best way here? Yeah, I completely forgot about Queen F4. Rook E1, Bishop S6. Oh, surprisingly, he played after he blundered the first line. Yeah, the queen should go to D5 here. Yeah, like V3 here. Yeah, and black doesn't really have any weights around. Queen F4. Yeah, it's basically the same thing what happened except without giving up a pawn. Also, this was possible. G4 here. Yeah, this was possible too. That's a bit too aggressive. But yeah, you all could see here. Just quickly. Oh yeah, you probably can't see the game review. Yeah, it says 94.4%. So basically, after the opening mistakes and he gave the exchange everything perfect. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, soon we'll be coming to the end of the stream here. So now's the point. If you guys have any questions, you know any improvement resources, any books you have any questions about, any general chess questions or anything, I'm here to answer them. So do you all have any questions for me? Oof, well, you'll get it. That depends on you. That depends how much work you're ready to put in. Well, above, well, then you should check out, we had some YouTube videos on my channel, exactly what I did to pass 2000. So you should definitely check that out. That would be very helpful for you. We have a lot of videos on the channel, how I passed 2000, what books I exactly read, and how much time I spent on each of them. You definitely should check that out. You guys have any other questions? We have a YouTube video coming most likely today, which will also help you guys. Oh, you've already crossed 2000. Oh, yeah, I did. 2000 feet there. Well, if you want to go to 2200, you could read this complete manual of positional chess, volumes 1 and 2 by Konstantin Landa and Sakayev, two Soviet grandmasters. They basically put like the manual of positional chess, like the Soviet school teachings, different lectures, topics in one book. You could check that out. So yeah, that's why I would do if I were check out those two volumes, complete manual of positional chess. If you want a challenge for calculation, maybe. What's the question of him? You're playing your first over the board FIDE rated next month in National League. Well, you see, that's already a danger. Because generally, if you're nervous, you will play lower than half of your normal level. So I remember sometimes, when I was younger, you go to a tournament and you get very nervous before the tournament. And it severely affects your play. I mean, you don't play good. Then but that's not good. I mean, your visualization is quite poor. You need to improve that. Well, that's not good. There's some books that could help you improve that. I did this cognitive chess. I recommend that in a video. It only gives you blindfold exercises. You could get a book, or you could also practice solving simple puzzles blindfolded and every day do that for 1 hour. That's very important to improve your visualization. So if you're gonna play a first tournament, yeah, practice on first of all to be calm. So go there, not put any heavy expectations, any pressure on yourself. Because if you remember, if you get nervous, you get under pressure, it's gonna severely affect your performance. So you just work on your tactics. You come up ready, sharp, check the main opening lines, and when you go there, just go and focus on what's your control. Yes, a good book. There's some harder books. But if you're playing in an over the board tournament, wouldn't you have more time? What kind of tournament are you playing in? There's a classical time control with like 90 minutes, and there's also uh there's shorter like rapid things like that. Came at the wrong time, my friend. Stream is coming close to end. Not today. Not today, guys. We just were streaming for the past almost 2 hours. So I mean, we're not like those streamers that stream 24 hours. I don't think there's any big point in doing those kind of streams. So yeah, those are the tips I'll give you. Go to the tournament there. Don't worry about losing. Losing is part of the game. Have some confidence in your moves. Calculate them well. Play. I'm not offering. I'm not coaching anyone. I'm full with students now. Yeah, yeah. It looks like that, Mr. Coolang. It looks like that. Well, what to do? I mean, unfortunately, in online chess, even over the board chess, they always will have people like that. I mean, that's part of there are a lot of cheaters in this world. All right, that's not good. Ooh, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's what you need to work on. That should be your main goal then to fix that. That ain't good. I used to have a similar problem. My blindfold was very bad and I was above 2000. But I worked on this blindfold book. Let me check your question. So you said time pressure is a real thing. Can't seem to find the question. I saw you're gonna play a tournament. I don't see anything about a league. Yes, a national league. You said so. Yeah, but the advice I'll give to whenever you're solving puzzles, solve them on a chessboard. In fact, that's funny. The cognitive chess book, that's supposed to be a simpler book. That's honestly so. It starts off simple. It just tells you to identify like a square on the chessboard. I'm thinking what could be a solution for you. Yeah, I did answer you, my friend, for the tournament. Try to work on your calculations, solve some tactics. You could set them up on a real chessboard and put like a timer of like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get like a real tournament feel. Remember, don't rush any moves in the tournament. You don't want to play any moves that you're not 100% sure about. And well, you need to work on that at least. Yeah, at least the good thing is you know what your problem is. So you should be happy. Some people don't know what the problem is and they don't know how to improve. So you work on that should be your main mission to improve your blindfold. Now, that's a bit tricky for some people. They have problems with that. You can start slow. I mean, try to visualize squares, the board. But I mean, that means that if you fix your blindfold, you'll see immediately you'll be able to see some rapid improvement. Okay, well, then you have some big talent. And if you fix that, you'll be in a good way. So again, try to start to visualize the board and start with just without any pieces and just try to focus on each square, like in your head, move from one square to the other. Let's try very hard. If you can't visualize the whole board at first, start by visualizing like a back rank. Remember, the board is 8 by 8. So if it takes some time, but try practicing visualizing the whole board in your head and then move from like the starting position of the pieces, then work your way to the pieces moving. Well, all right, guys, do we have any final questions? Or is that it for today? You all let me know if we have any final questions. Yeah, but keep working. Don't give up on your blindfold chess. I mean, if you made it over 2000 without that, that's a very good sign. As I said, I don't offer at the moment. I don't have any spots for coaching. You can message me on chess.com or chess if you want to know. But I could also recommend you some coaches as well. And what I would recommend is, in fact, next best thing to me is my courses on Chessable. It's always going to be cheaper, and you get like personalized lessons. So that's why I make Chessable courses as well. Because if I don't have time to coach everyone, I'll say, look, you go to my Chessable course, and in my Chessable course, you're gonna get like almost the same value as in personal lessons on specific topics. For example, my last two courses on the World Chess Champions, I think that they're some of the best material out there, honestly. I think what you were missing as a young player, and many young players, they're missing knowledge about the World Chess Champions. So my last Chessable course covered the skills of the greats, focusing on the best skills of each champion, followed by more than 300 puzzles, huge training material, covering all the World Chess Champions. For example, from the first course is Steinitz to Fischer, and then the course coming out on July the 9th, tentatively, is from Karpov to Gukesh. So, for example, when the chapter in Karpov, we're going to focus on prophylaxis, prophylactic puzzles, how exactly Karpov used to do that, how we can do that in our game. And then we have, for example, when it comes to Gukesh, we work on calculation, get some very tough puzzles. How exactly should we calculate? Then we have other chapters such as Anand. Anand was very good at his intuition. He would be able to play good moves quickly, and not because he calculated quickly, but rather because he had a very good intuition. And I talk how we can build that and all that in our own games. Then we have like Kasparov chapter on him is about dominating the whole board. We go through, see how we did that, solve puzzles, see how we could do that. Well, what's your budget? It depends what your budget is. There's some coaches that are more than 50 euros. In fact, most grandmasters are more than 50 euros. So if your budget's not that, then I don't know who I could recommend. But these days, coaching, unfortunately, generally prices of everything went up. So it depends what your budget is. For me personally, it was very hard to find a good coach. For example, I don't know what average budget is. I mean, that doesn't say anything. Yeah, exactly. I sometimes you don't even need a coach to improve. It makes it easier. Well, it is, but it's very hard to find a grandmaster for less than that. Well, I work with some coaches. Most recently with Axel Bachman, and you won't get him for cheap and all, but very, very good coach. But generally, as I said, at that level, I don't think coaching is needed with all the resources you have. Your problem is this blindfold chess. I don't think any coach could really help that. That's something you have to work on your own. It's different when you have like a specific, you don't know what your problem is, and then the coach needs to help you. Or you could check on, as I said, on chess.com or chess, the coach list, and you can read what everyone says about themselves. And you can see what which coach stands out to you and suits you. Sure you'll find someone. So all right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. And we'll see you around. Look out for my video that should be coming out today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys are improving. All right, well, good luck with that. Just keep working. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and consistency is very important. So you every day keep working,